The PCs decide to start a goblin sanctuary after saving only one goblin and murdering his entire clan. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm coming to you from under... is that a Tarrasque? Anyway, welcome to another DnDGreentext video, and I hope I don't die. Jesus Christ. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another DnDGreentext. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Before jumping into today's video, I just want to quickly kindly ask you, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, to consider doing so now. I mean, I'm risking my life over here. There's literally a Tarrasque and I have to finish recording this. But yeah, anyway, thanks so much if you do that. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. The NPC rogue. No rogue in the party. Dungeon crawl full of traps. The Dungeon Master offers us a conveniently prepared NPC rogue. We ask the DM if this is a Boblin or a DMPC. He doesn't know what those mean. Pull up Reddit to explain. He laughs and says, it's a lawful good rogue. We hire the rogue and it's a DMPC. I really can't tell if the DM did this unintentionally or he changed his mind or he's just completely clueless. I don't know what was going on here. But goddamn, that sounds like a really sad situation. DM learns about Boblins. Okay, 2 stories in a row referencing Boblins. Alright then, that's interesting, I guess. Be me, relatively inexperienced Dungeon Master. Be not me, human fighter, birdman monk, and trickster cleric. The PCs slaughter a bunch of goblins, getting to a cave showing no mercy. Charm a random goblin for information and become BFFs. The PCs proceed to genocide the rest of the cave of goblinoids. Google the name for the goblin BFF. I pick one of the first that I see, and his name is gonna be Daz. The party proceeds to give Daz to an unarmed single mother with a young child. The PCs decide to start a goblin sanctuary after saving only one goblin and murdering his entire clan. Oh god, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, why would they do that? Can you imagine how evil that is for the goblin that you leave alive? You basically traumatize him, you murder every single relative that he had, and then you just throw him into a sanctuary of, protected goblins, question mark, quotes, I don't know, that's full of goblins in exactly the same scenario. There is no, I mean, if I were the DM for this, I would think for a way of making the goblins into the big bad evil guy, like the goblins from the sanctuary. I don't know, that just seems like extremely evil and extremely traumatizing at the same time. Is this a move? Be Artificer. Because apparently it's pronounced Artificer, not Artificer. Somehow I've been through like 3 years of making these kinds of videos and only now figured this out, but anyway. Be Artificer. Loot a sniper rifle. Identify confirms that there are not really any downsides. First time using it. The Dungeon Master reveals a downside that Identify wouldn't find. The sniper has a development flaw. Like most snipers, to properly aim, you need to look through the scope. However, the only way to look through the scope is by having your eye right against it like a telescope or a pair of binoculars. And like normal snipers, this gun has a lot of recoil to it. You can guess what happens next. Basically, unless I find a way to modify the weapon, I take 1d4 bludgeoning whenever I fire it. The Dungeon Master is a gun nut and says that it's actually based off of a real firearm issue. I thought it was a fairly clever twist, but some of the players thought that it was a move. I personally don't mind. After all, there could have been a curse that was too powerful for Identify to find anyway. What do you think? Well, I do actually agree. I don't think that's a move. I think it's it makes sense. I don't know how much damage the sniper itself does. If the 1d4 bludgeoning is worth it or not as a downside, and like what level and how much health you have to actually be able to deal with that, but it seems reasonable, to be honest. Also, I don't know much about weapons, but that seems like that seems accurate. The Koopa stratagem. Be me, level 6 Torture Artificer. No, I'm kidding, I didn't forget. But it would be quite a meme to just go with Artificer, just pretend that I never learned how to properly pronounce it, and just go with that. That would really annoy some people, I think. Bimi, level 6 Torture Artificer. 12-player assault on an undead fortress. Encounter on a bridge over a lava moat. About half of the party stays to fight sentries and jobber the undead in front of the bridge. Most higher level PCs end up fighting heavy hitters around halfway across. Decently roughed up by the time they had to fight the boss, an undead warlord jumps in. Warlord begins to smash our asses. Get an idea. Hey Dungeon Master, are there any railings on this bridge? There aren't. Begin to use Alchemy Jag Infusion to covertly pour oil around and behind me. Stand near the edge of the bridge and proceed to verbally destroy the warlord. And then the angry warlord charges at me with dash action. Saves against sleeping on oil. That's okay, it has a better use. Ready to make my play next turn. The warlock uses legendary action to make one attack. Natural 20 to hit and 24 damage. I have 24 hit points. The fighting continues to go poorly. The party fails to knock the boss off of the bridge multiple times. At some point, get healed for 6. Don't get up. The fight ends shortly afterwards, and some PCs escape, but the remaining surrender and submit to be taken prisoners. It's getting late, and the players start to go home. I delay my action until the warlord passes on the bridge, going back into the fortress. I use half movement to quickly get up, and I use the rest to make a running spinning jump into the oil puddle. I use my action to retract into my shell. I attempt to Mario Kart myself into the warlord to try and take him off the edge of the bridge. Opposed acrobatics check versus the warlord. Use Flash of Genius to gain +4. Natural 20 for a total of 25. The warlord gets a 5. The DM tries to give an opportunity to avoid the lava and refuse it. Launch myself and the boss into the lava. Just before falling in, I use bonus action to activate Boots of the Winding Path with Infusion. Teleport back to where I started my turn and survive and bask in the glory. This really is one of those things that, like, it deserves points for being, you know, creative, but like, I really it's like great and terrible at the same time, you know? Yeah, I think that's a better way to put it. The short-lived life of Silvertongue. Bimi, level 5 Goblin Bard. New game, and we all started at level 5. Get high rolls, 3 16s, and I put them into Dex and Charisma. Goofing around with my character, and I decide to make him College of Eloquence. Silvertongue ability makes all persuasion or deception rolls at least 10. Expertise ability lets me double the proficiency on 2 abilities. I pick persuasion and deception. Every single roll is now a guaranteed 20. I do whatever I want and I get away with it, like a little bastard, and I still try to play my character well. The group gets captured by hobgoblins, and all of us are under paralysis. The hobgoblins pick me for their torture first. I think nothing of it. Probably only gonna get a couple of bruises and cuts. My face when they cut my tongue out. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think you might have went a little overboard and ended up making the DM mad. You never really want to do that. The tale of my dwarf who wanted to die. Bimi, 20, and my brother drags me to D&D night. Everyone gets housed. My dwarf is created, and my goal is to kill him. I do stupid to speed up the process, I piss off some guards, and I get executed. Sweet relief. DM. Dwarf is resurrected. Me. I try again, and the dwarf is almost dead from a battle and tactically get chopped down. The healer is ordered to heal me, but I know that the healer sucks at rolls, so likely he's just gonna send me off to the forge in the sky. The healer rolls a natural 20 and the DM makes me immortal for 3 rolls. The game ends because the group is too drunk, minus me. Months later, brother drags me to his neckbeard friend's house and we end up playing D&D and my dwarf appears. but stronger as I was healed. Head apparently made me a legend. I'm mad. I proceeded to run my dwarf into the dirt harder. I keep being healed and I try to die, but they keep healing me as I'm a tank. Sarcastic the whole time, but they love it, and they kept making sure that I don't die. I decide to never spend any gold. This is gonna be relevant to the plot later. Many more months pass. The dwarf is equivalent of a box Helix and just won't die. Instead, just keeps getting stronger and dumber. He now can become a giant, or normal size but has giant strength. God hates me and my dwarf. I bring violence and the dwarf is amazing at it. Suddenly, the dungeon master has a new girlfriend and she's a buzzkill queen. The game becomes making sure that she gets final kill, she helps writing stories, and overall just sucks. The battle is in a stadium now. We decide to use a child as a meat shield. What the fuck? The DM chuckles and his girlfriend flips, "You can't do that, that's not funny, you sick or do something." The dungeon master demands roll and I roll a natural 20. His GF goes, "He can't do that, that is evil." My dwarf was chaotic evil and it's in his nature. The DM decides to punish my dwarf. The child runs free and I get 2 damage for doing a quote-unquote evil act. The life of the game begins to die because the brother's friend is a pussy that's whipped by his girlfriend. The game goes quote-unquote union meeting mode and the game slowly dies. Years pass and the dwarf is a demigod at this point and I'm still trying to end him. The dwarf has 500,000 platinum and damn near 1,000,000 gold. The DM's now wife finds out and she's not happy. His wife is a assassin pixie that hasn't killed a single person in years and my dwarf is second fiddle to death itself. My gold becomes our gold. Stupid pixie buys poisons that she has to make on the spot. And despite that I insta-kill most humans and small pirate ships? Honestly, there's so much of this story that doesn't make sense and I've tried to, like change it around a little bit to make it more coherent, but this phrase really, I don't know what the author is trying to say here, okay? I'll just be honest. Communism will not be tolerated. Better dead than red, that Liberty Prime. Dwarf is just used as a meat shield and doesn't care. The pixie dies and loses our loot because treasurer, but magically finds it later after being recovered and it's all hers? I decide to turn on the pixie, vaporized her body and soul and rip up my shit because DM's wife doesn't know why I'm pure evil and her pixie doesn't exist. The DM ex-machinas that and goes, "Oh, she's alive." I'm banned from the group and that's how after 4 years I successfully killed a dwarf. Jesus Christ, just struggling to go through this story and read it makes me want to end the video here. And also the first 2 comments I really agree with. The first one is, "Sounds incredibly toxic on all sides and you are playing some garbage D&D." Like, Jesus Christ, how bad could this game get? I cannot believe how horrible this ended up being, honestly. I mean, it started off pretty bad and it got worse. And the second one is better dead than red. Never heard something so American. That seems very accurate. Anyway, I think if your D&D games are, anything like this, if you notice anything in this story and it makes you think about any D&D game that you're currently in, or campaign rather, that you're currently playing in, yeah, I think you should really consider changing something about that. I mean, it is ridiculous how toxic this entire group could be, honestly. But I don't know, at the end of the day, I don't know anything, and if you're having fun, you're having fun, and nothing that I said matters regarding this. Anyway, on that note, that's gonna be it for today's video, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more if you haven't already. Also, thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon, as well as on YouTube as channel members. I appreciate it a lot, so thanks so much for that. Links below if you want to check this out, as well as links to the social media, Discord server, subject, anything else. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching, I'll see you next time. Have a great day, bye!